What's up, guys? I hope you're all having a great day today. And yes, I know we haven't really made a lot of YouTube videos recently. We've been focusing on like TikToks, YouTube Shorts for you guys. And but for today, there's just so much we're going to be talking about. I have so much to say and have written down in here that I just can't all put it into one short for what I have to say. Like, yes, there'll be a TikTok and YouTube short later after I film this, but I just want to give you the full idea of what this is about. But today we're going to be talking about chapter 23 of Proverbs, and the main idea of this is the do not. So to start off with this chapter, we have verses 1 through 3, for which they say, "When you sit to dine with a ruler, note well what is before you, and put your knife to your throat if you are given to gluttony. Do not crave his delicacies, for that food is deceptive." So, what are these verses talking about first? So the main thing we have here is be careful around people with power or wealth. Don't be greedy or impressed by fancy things. So do not crave his delicacies. So what we have is don't be fooled by the fancy things. Not everything that looks good has good intentions. So yeah, something like we don't want to follow all the things that look fancy and stuff because that's not always the right path. Like, I know a big thing is with scammers online and stuff is that they'll make like these fake ads or websites or like that make it look fancy and stuff. And then when you go to click on it, enter anything, you just get straight up scammed. Like, that's the best example I can think of it, something right now. If you guys have anything else for this, you can comment it down below. The next thing we have is verses 5 through 4, which is, do not wear yourself out, get rich, do not trust your own cleverness. Cast but a glance at riches, and they are gone, for they will surely sprout wings and fly off to the sky like an eagle. So, the main purpose of these two verses is wealth disappears quickly. Don't wear yourself out trying to get rich. So, the do nots here are do not wear yourself out to get rich and do not trust your own cleverness. So, what we have is don't chase money. Riches can disappear fast. So yes, if you're really putting money, trying to chase money and putting that first, that's really going to push away for what you really have for God and following for his plan. And that also follows up with the next thing is don't rely on your own cleverness. Trust God's wisdom instead. So if you trust in God's wisdom, he is going to be the one that is going to be giving you all these riches and stuff because he has that plan for you. Don't push yourself away from God because you think you know what's best for you. God knows what's best for you. So just follow the plan that he has for you. Next up we have is verses 6 through 8, and it says, the light turned off. Anyways, 6 through 8, and we have, do not eat the food of the berugged host, do not crave his delicacies, for he is the kind of person who is always thinking about the cost. Eat and drink, he says to you, but your heart is not with you. You will vomit up the little you have eaten, and you will have wasted your compliments. So, verses 6 through 8 are telling us that don't eat with people who are selfish or stingy. So, the do nots, it clearly just said, don't eat the food of the berugged host, and do not crave his delicacies. So, what we have is don't hang out with fake or selfish people. They act nice, but in their hearts they aren't with you. So pretty much the main purpose here is that it's telling us is don't hang out with people who are two-sided. Like, the one thing I really like about my friends is they're not all Christians and stuff. Like, they all have different beliefs and stuff, but they're not two-sided about stuff. Like, they don't feel they need to put an act or something on for me just to make me feel good. Like, they're very open and honest, and that is the one thing I really appreciate about them all. Okay, so the next thing we have is verse 9, and it says, do not speak to fools, for they will scorn your prudent words. And that is pretty much just telling us some people won't value wisdom. Save your words. So don't speak. So the do not here is don't speak to the fools, for they'll just mock your wisdom. So yeah, it's pretty much just telling us don't waste your wisdom or words talking to people all the time. Like, don't use your wisdom all the time on people because sometimes they just won't listen to you and they'll just mock you about it. Next up we have is verses 10 through 11, for which it says, do not move an ancient boundary stone or the encroach of the fields of the fatherless. fatherless, yes. And for the defender is strong, he will take up their case against you. So 10 through 11 is telling us the main thing here is don't take advantage of others, especially the poor or the fatherless. So the do not I like here is do not move an ancient boundary stone. So what is it telling us here is don't steal land or property. So this is basically telling us one of the greatest commandments is thou shalt not steal. So just don't go out and steal stuff from other people, because that's just not right. And that's not what God wants us to do. I think I have something here. It says, don't take what isn't yours, respect others' boundaries and rights. Next up we have is verses 12 through 18, and these are pretty long, so let's go. So we have, apply your heart to the instructions and the ears of the words of knowledge. Do not withhold the discipline from a child if your punishment with them is a rod. They will not die. Punish them with the rod and save them from death. My son, is your heart is wise, then my heart will be glad indeed. My inmost beings will rejoice when your lips speak what is right. So do not let your heart envy sinners, but always be zealous for the fear of the Lord. And then we have, lastly, to close it, is there is surely a future of hope for you, and your hope will not cut off. So I wrote something down, is just don't be jealous of sinners. So yes, verses 12 through 18 are telling us the main thing here is be wise, accept correction, and don't envy those who sin. And the do not, we just tell you, is don't let your heart envy sinners. And then we have here is don't envy sinners. Stay focused on living for God instead of comparing yourself. So yes, we live in a world that can be very corrupt and stuff, and we kind of think what we do, which is right, we feel that is wrong because there's so much other people going out and doing the sin of wrong, and we're just like, am I really doing the right thing? Which you are doing the right thing. You're following God's words. You're doing what is right. Just remember that. So just don't feel jealous of people who are going out having fun, doing all this stuff of this sin, because what they're doing is wrong. And then next we have is verses 19 through 21, and they say, listen, my son, be wise, and let your heart on the right path. Do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat, for the drunkens are gluttony, become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags. So 19 through 21 is saying, don't hang out with people who drink too much or overeat. So the do not is literally right there. It says, do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat. And yeah, really, if you hang out with, the best example I have is with parties and stuff. Like, if you don't want to do that stuff, don't go to parties and stuff, because that is filled with much, much, much of temptation. Like, people are always out here. There's drinking, there's alcohol, there's wine, there's drugs. Like, there's so much bad stuff at parties that we don't want to fall into. So that's why I usually don't accept party invites. I don't go to them, because I just know that there's that temptation there, that so many people are doing it. You're going to feel the need that you're going to need to fit in and do it as well. So don't do that stuff. And then we have 22 through 25, and this says, listen to your father who gave you life. Do not despise your mother when she is old. Buy the truth and do not sell it. Wisdom, instructions, insight as well. The father of the righteous child has great joy. A man of fatherless, a wise son rejoices in him. May your father and mother rejoice. May she who gave you birth be joyful. So, this is very obvious, is respect your parents and hold lightly to the truth of wisdom. So, there's no do nots here. It's just listen and buy the truth. And another thing about this is it's another part of the 10 commandments is honoring your father and mother. So just remember to do that. And then next up we have is verses 26 through 28, and that is, my son, give me your heart and let your eyes delight in my ways, for your adulterous woman is a deep pit, and a wayward wife is narrow well. Like a bandit she lies in wait and multiplies the unfaithful among men. So we have another thing here, and it says, be faithful. Adultery destroys people. So just stay away, avoid sex, and don't follow that stuff. Because I literally just watched a book. We just got done in English class. It was about this play. It's called The Crucible. And this guy, he commits adultery with this woman. And after that, she's just all madly in love with him and goes crazy because they committed adultery. And then The Crucible is about witchcraft and stuff. So she starts blaming people just to kill the guy's wife because he had an affair with his wife with this girl. And the girl that he had the affair with is accusing people of witches and stuff. And this woman almost killed the man's wife that he had the affair with. So just really don't fall into adultery, because it could really change you as a person in general. And then last up we have is, to end it, is 29 through 35, and this is, who has a hoe, who has sorrow, who has a strife, who has compliments, and who has needless bruises, who has bloodshot eyes. Those who linger over wine, who got to sample bowls of mixed wine, do not glaze at wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it goes down smoothly. In the end, it bites like a snake and poisons like a viper. Your eyes will see strange sights, and your mind will imagine confusion things. You will be like one sleeping on high seas, lying on top of the rigging. Sorry. And then we have, they will hit me and they will say, but I'm not hurt. They beat me, but I don't feel it. When will I wake up so I can find another drink? So this is really telling us drunkenness leads to confusion, pain, and regret. Once you take a sip of alcohol, you either want to keep going, you're going to feel like, oh, what's going on and stuff. You're going to feel drunk. You're like, I can't do this anymore. But as soon as you get that conscience back, you're going to feel the need to use more. That is something that a lot of people use to get away from pain and stuff. So we need to stop avoiding these drugs, alcohol, and stuff, because they tear you away. They tear you away from God, and it makes you think that you're okay, but really it's just leading you into a more and more addiction of just ruining your own body. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have. So really, just don't fall into the sin of alcohol. So that's really all we have for today's video. And really, just remember throughout this chapter, I know it was a lot, and I know I kind of could have been a little boring throughout it, but if you made it to the end, just remember that just use God's wisdom that He has given you. Ask God for wisdom, and just pray for Him to help you not to fall into these temptations, and follow what God wants us to do, and take these things into your mind and remember them, so you shall not do these things. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. I love you all. God bless.